Palestine as a state. We're back in 2 minutes.
Ideal Bathrooms and Tiles, Ireland's premier bathroom and tile showroom. January sale now on. Be wowed by brands including Villeroy and Bach. Be amazed by exceptional prices. And be smart. Get to Ideal Bathrooms and Tiles January sale. Lower Ballymount Road, Dublin 12. And let our expert staff help you design your ideal bathroom. See idealbathrooms.ie. Even bathrooms as good as ours need a little plug. Escape from reality this summer with Thompson. Choose from our collection of holidays created just for adults.
It's very sticky, isn't it? Like the
Yeah,
sound.
yeah. I'll clean it up. No, it's just stuck to it.
Holidays that indulge the senses. With new destinations like Jamaica and Mexico direct from Dublin. Thompson. Discover your smile. Book now for summer 16 on thompsonholidays.ie. Call us or visit a Falcon travel shop. Part of the TUI Group.
Come feast your eyes on the stunning new Astra from Opel. The brand new model is now available at dealerships nationwide. Miles ahead in technology and innovation, the new Astra delivers a smoother and safer drive. With IntelliLux Matrix LED headlights, AG or wellness seats with massage function, and Opel OnStar, your personal connectivity and service assistant, starting from $19,995. Get down to your Opel dealership this January and arrange your test drive of the new Opel Astra. Price excludes delivery and related charges.
Hello again, you're listening to the News at 1 on Radio 1. Well, after all the shocking revelations about how some people in the financial sector did business during the boom, you'd be forgiven for thinking it could not happen again. But according to Patrick Honohan, the central bank has been given false or misleading information by regulated entities. And even when they're caught out, there are no legal consequences. Our business editor, David Murphy, has the story. He's with us now. David, this all came to light in a letter from Patrick Honohan when he was the governor of the central bank to Michael Noonan.
That's right. So these letters were previously disclosed. However, part of the information was redacted. Fianna Fáil did a further Freedom of Information request and received an unredacted version of the letters involved. And these are letters from Patrick Honohan to Michael Noonan when Patrick Honohan was head of the central bank. And in the letters, he says that there have been instances where the central bank has been given false or misleading information by regulated entities or by individuals in regulated entities. So he means they're companies, often in the form of information which he says is designed to cover serious shortcomings or inadequacies. And he says that the central bank has found that there aren't any legal consequences it can take against these people who provide this false or misleading information. And he proposes that there is going to be a change whereby they can introduce sanctions against people, perhaps in the form of penalties or fines, and not just for insurance companies. He mentions insurance because the letter he sends to Michael Noonan is mainly regarding insurance, but he says not just for insurance companies, but also for senior personnel, directors, key office holders, including external auditors in companies where they may have given false or misleading information. And he finalised his letter by saying the existing structure effectively allows individuals to act without responsibility for their actions of lying or misleading. I did speak to Michael McGrath, the Fianna Fáil finance spokesman, for his reaction to it, and this is what he had to say.
Well, I find it absolutely remarkable that it is generally not an offence and there is no sanction for companies who are regulated by the central bank lying to the central bank, knowingly providing false or misleading information. And ultimately this exposes consumers and indeed taxpayers to unnecessary and unacceptable risk.
Michael McGrath of Fianna Fáil, David Murphy is still with us. It's important to point out, David, that in the letter, what Patrick Honohan says is that the legislation that exists makes it an offence to provide false or misleading information to the bank or to an authorised officer. But this offence is only committed where the information is given in response to a specific legally binding request under certain powers, which would suggest everything else, if it's just sent in a pile, is not covered.
That's right. So it seems really that there is a lacuna there, and that's what he would like addressed. I've spoken to the central bank about this, about their conversations with the Department of Finance, and asked them about that, and they say they're not going to comment specifically on the letter or the discussions right now. However, I do understand that there are new measures being introduced called Solvency II, which will cover the insurance sector, and they hope that this will help tighten up some of the regulations covering the area, but it's not the specific change in legislation which the central bank was looking for. So we'll see what happens.
So finally and quickly, we're presuming that the lie here is about them having more money than they actually have. They say that they're in a healthier state than they actually are.
Yeah, and I think that this is a really, really big concern, particularly in the insurance sector, whereby the real question for people who are insured is, do the companies that provide the insurance have sufficient funds to meet all the claims? This became a very big issue with Quinn Insurance, whereby money they had set aside to